we're settling into the siege now, right, with Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Right now we're into the Leafs have about $3.7 million in cap space with Marner unsigned. You still got the Nathan Horton overage you can use. That's not
5.8.
It's not, though. It's not necessarily that much. It's 5.3. It's not necessarily that much.
Right, whatever it is.
Because
the math gets complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated math. It can be up to 5.3 if the Leafs were to use it, get themselves right to the cap when they put Horton on.
Which they likely will be.
You know why the Leafs have Nathan Horton, by the way?
Because they traded for him
Do you know why they traded for him instead of
David Clarkson?
His contract's not insured.
Right.
So
I do remember that.
They're paying cash.
Right, which is no problem for them.
No, they got lots of money, but
wasn't such a good idea in Columbus.
So, at what point do we get concerned that the Marner thing is dragging on? I mean, because there's all kinds of deadlines, right? There's, is he going to get done by training camp? Is he going to get done by the start of the regular season? There's the December 1st deadline. Like, if this is William Nylander 2.0, do you have the stomach for it?
Doesn't it look like that? I mean, if the GM comes out in the wake of the season when you lose to the Bruins and says priority number one is signing this guy, and then he goes and does a million other things, well, priority number one stays on the board, it doesn't exactly give me a lot of confidence that priority number one is getting done tomorrow.
So the difference for me is that we questioned last year whether or not Nylander was a core player for the Leafs. There was an open question, and Andy Petrillo and I were at training camp every day, and I asked every guest we had, much to her chagrin, is William Nylander a core player for Toronto? And you got mixed results. There is no question Mitch Marner is a core player for Toronto.
Might be your best player.
There's no question.
Depending on how you feel. Now, I know many people feel he's not the best player. Many people feel Matthews is a better player. But I'll say this. There's a conversation there. Like, Mitch Marner's led you in scoring for a couple of seasons now. He didn't lead you in the playoffs, but he's been awfully consistent in showing up to give you what you need, give you production, complement teammates, give guys like Van Riemsdyk and Bozak and John Tavares career seasons, depending on how you how you slice that apple and who you think deserves more of the credit for it. You're right. There's no doubt. He's a no-doubter in terms of, do you want this guy in your team? I completely agree with that. But the bottom line is, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean it's going to be easier than Nylander.
So if you had to bet a really expensive bottle of Irish whiskey,
how expensive is the one?
$250.60.
Because $45 sounds expensive to me. So is something like that on the market?
Would you bet that Marner gets an offer sheet?
Well, given the time has passed here, I think the offer sheet seems like
that ship has sailed.
The ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Does it not? I'm not. Obviously, it's possible, but I wouldn't bet on it. No, I would not bet on it.
Okay. Would you bet on him being in training camp on day one?
I would not bet on that either. No, I would not. I do not have any confidence that there is a bridge to bridge the gap between what exists on the player side and what exists in management's mind.
See, the issue for me is, in Marner's case, he loves playing here. We know that. But he also has been somewhat pushed to the side and to the back throughout his time in Toronto. He didn't get the rookie bonuses. Now you can say
all of them. Yes.
You didn't get all the rookie bonuses. You can say that was Lou, but okay.
But the other guy got them.
But Austin Matthews got them.
Yes.
He got sent right back to junior. You can say fair enough. That's the way it goes for some 18-year-olds. He was on the fourth line.
Yeah, until January 25th of the season previous to this one.
When he led the team in scoring.
Yeah.
They gave John Tavares $11 million.
They did.
They gave Austin Matthews $11.6.
I heard.
So at what point does he stop being a good guy and say, sorry, this is business?
Look, I've heard those arguments. And trust me, they hit the venom that emanates from his camp has been very visceral at times, and we've seen it. And so it's justified in many ways. You're right, because all the kid has done is make a city fall in love with him, make every marketing executive in this region fall in love with him and want him to, be the front man for their product and be in the commercial for their product. This guy has got every box ticked in terms of how to be a great Toronto Maple Leaf. And yet, he hasn't necessarily been treated at least I don't think his camp feels he's been treated in a way that's commensurate with the way he's performed. And I understand. And I think that's the reason I'm not betting on him being in training camp unless something material changes here.
You know, he needed Kawhi to say, come to the LA Kings, or I won't sign with the Clippers. That's what he needed.
He needs Uncle Dennis.
He's Uncle Dennis.
Uncle Dennis is the executive of the year, man. He needs Uncle freaking Dennis to broker this deal.